want to welcome you today. And I want to welcome a very, very special guest speaker. We had a speaker who came to us last year for our baccalaureate, for our seniors, and he was phenomenal. And so by popular request, we're going to have him speak to the entire student body. There are 393 of you. His name is Jim Rodriguez. He is the regional catering manager for Taco Cabana, and he has a very compelling story to share with you today. So I present to you Jim Rodriguez. Please welcome.
Hola. Good afternoon. Buenos tardes. Dobre utra. I greeted you in English, in Spanish, and in Russian. Now you're saying, Mr. Rodriguez, why Russian? Because when you heard that Taco Cabana was going to be in the house with free coupons, everyone came rushing over. My name is Jaime Santiago Gonzalez Escajeda Rodriguez. Dr. Lombardi calls me Jim, and that's fine. When she calls me, I say, yes, ma'am. I have the highest respect for your principal. Give her a round of applause. I have the highest respect for your school faculty. Give them a round of applause. Very quickly, I'm an ex-school principal, so kids are in my heart. I take anything that has to do with youth very personally. I sit on several boards throughout the Dallas Independent School District, Waxahachie, Texas, you name it. I sit on about 20 boards. I was called the other day and asked if I'd like to be part of a board that's putting together another early college high school program. A high school, I think it's called Clemens High School. Is there a Clemens High School? Samuel Clemens?
Oh, it's
Samuel, there you go. There you go. You know, and I go, okay, let me consider that. Like I don't have anything else to do. Because my full-time job is being the regional catering manager for a small little company called Taco Cabana. Yeah, that's how we roll. Taco Cabana. Let me tell you something. Taco Cabana was born in 1978 in San Antonio, Texas. Let me tell you what's discouraging about that. 2 German brothers started it. 2 German brothers used my food, mi comida, to become multimillionaires. Give them a hand. That's what I'm doing. Only in America. Only in America. And that's part of my presentation to you this afternoon. Because some of you are going to take notes. Hey, I like kids, students that take notes. Because you never know. Hey, I remember this in a speech. Okay? Because I believe in the word poor. P-O-O-R. But it stands for an acronym which represents passing over opportunities repeatedly. If you pass over opportunities repeatedly, you're going to find yourself poor. I'm telling you that. I am a living example of an opportunity that was presented to me. I took it, and in less than 2 years, I became the regional catering manager of a billion-dollar company. Because when I was hired, I was unemployed. I had been unemployed for 9 months. I moved from Connecticut with my family to Texas because I needed a knee operation. And of course, you don't go for an interview on crutches. So I had to wait for my rehabilitation program to be over, which meant that I was unemployed for 9 months. During that time, I found a school for my daughter in Waxahachie. So I had to take her to school every morning. I was living in DeSoto with my older brother. And on my way back from Waxahachie every morning, I would stop at the Taco Cabana there on 35 in Lancaster, Texas. And I would have my 2 breakfast burritos and a Coke. Breakfast of champions, right? You could tell that, yeah, that's what I used to have and still do. Proud of it. One morning I was there after I dropped my daughter off, and they were very busy, so I just sat at the table with no food. An individual came up to me and said, "Sir, are you not having breakfast?" I said, "Yeah, but y'all are pretty busy. I can wait." He says, "I've seen you here a lot." I said, "Well, it's on my way back to the house." He said, "What do you normally have?" I said, 2 potato and eggs and a Coke. He came back, gave me 2 potato and eggs and a Coke. He said, "It's on me." I said, "Wow, I appreciate that." And then he gave me a card. I looked at the card. It said, "Erles Villanueva, District Manager, Taco Cabana." I said, "Wow, this is a great opportunity." I rushed to my brother's house. "Can I use your computer?" He goes, "Yeah, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to send this man an email." I said, "Mr. Villanueva, you are the type of professional that I could work for and with. If you ever need someone that you really can depend on, see my attached resume." Okay? And my wife says, "You're not sending your resume. That man was kind enough to buy your breakfast, and you're going to send your resume? Why not? What have I got to lose? I'm unemployed." I send it off. The next day, I received a phone call. "When can we meet?" I said, "Hey, I'm at your mercy." We met the next week. We sat down, and after he looked at it, he goes, "Well, Jim, I got some bad news." I go, "What's that?" He says, "I can't afford to hire you. You're a retired Master Sergeant from the United States Air Force. You have a master's degree in business management. You have 10 years experience of restaurant. You have 5 years experience of automobile sales. You've been a national sales training instructor for the Northeast of America. You're an ex-school principal." He says, "I can't afford you." And I looked at him and I said, "You can't afford not to hire me." And he looked at me and goes, "What?" I said, "I can bring stuff to Taco Cabana that'll blow you away." I said, "My ideas, my motivation, my inspiration, my communication skills, my education, I can get people excited to make those frijoles, that arroz, you name it, give me the chance." He says, "What?" And I looked at him and I said, "Erles, what position do you have available?" He says, "I have the lowest possible management position that you could start at." And I looked at him and I said, "Lowest management position, unemployment. Which one do you think is going to pay me the most?" And he started laughing. He said, "No one's ever said that to me." I said, "Give me the chance." He goes, "Yeah, but you're going to find another job." And I said, "Erles, look at my resume. How long did I stay in the United States Air Force?" 21 years. And I started at the very bottom as a basic trainee and worked my way up to Master Sergeant, the Commandant of the United States Air Force Basic Military Training School. There's only one in the United States Air Force, and Jim Rodriguez got there. I said, "Treat me right, give me the opportunity, and let me show you what I can do." He says, "I'm going to take a chance on you." February 8th, 2010, I started the 5-week training course at Taco Cabana. Our training restaurant is on Cockrell Hill and I-30. Anyone familiar with that area? Cockrell Hill, that's our training restaurant. It's 5 weeks. So I started training. But this is Jim Rodriguez. When I would come in at 5 o'clock in the morning, the first thing that I would do to everyone there, this is what I do. "Buenos dias, let's rock and roll. Let's make some beans today." People were saying, "What's wrong with this guy? We've never seen anyone get so excited about making beans." All right. After 2 weeks, I got a note. The regional vice president, the human resource director, the training instructor, the district manager want to sit down with you. Now, immediately when you get a note, the principal in me comes in and goes, "I'm in trouble." That's the first thing we think about. What have I done wrong? Maybe I'm coming to work too excited. Maybe I'm too enthusiastic. We sat down for the meeting. The regional vice president sits down and says, "Jim, we looked over your resume. The past 2 weeks, no one comes into work like you do." I'm going, "Okay." we'd like to offer you the position of Dallas-Fort Worth catering manager. I said, what? I said, we'd like to offer you the position of the Dallas-Fort Worth catering manager for Taco Cabana. I said, I'm still in training. I got 3 weeks left. Well, when you finish those 3 weeks, we're going to promote you. Okay? We're going to promote you, send you to Houston for a week. When you come back, the department is yours. Now, folks, I'm the only person in Taco Cabana history that's ever been promoted before completing training. I didn't know how to run one of their restaurants yet. So I looked at the trainer and I go, what are we going to do for the next 3 weeks? She says, whatever you want to. Okay? Because I don't know anything about catering. You're going to have to create the department, so let's just learn together. So I graduated, okay? And then I took over catering. The first thing I told them was, I'm going to emphasize youth, and I'm going to emphasize churches. You're going to make money from schools and churches? I go, well, number one, you never run out of students. I don't care what city you're in, we are going to have students. And those students are going to be taught by teachers who are going to be supported by PTAs who need to feed the teachers and who need to raise money. I'm going to be a part of that. You'll never run out of churches that need to raise money and need to feed the people. I want to be a part of that. I increased the business by over 333% my first year. Broke all sales records. Started joining all forms of boards, Chamber of Commerce's. I sit on a board at SMU. I sit on a board at South Oak Cliff High School. I sit on a board at Skyline High School. Boards, boards, boards. But all those boards eventually asked me to cater for them. Because my bosses would say, you sit on all these boards, what are we getting from them? An extra $65,000 a year. Oh, okay, join as many boards as you want, Jim. Go ahead. Do what you want. It's looking good. During my travels, understand that I live in Waxahachie, Texas. And I had to be corrected. At first, I thought I lived in Waxahachie. No, it's Waxahachie. Waxahachie. I would drop my daughter off at 7 because my office is in downtown Dallas. So I travel about 40 miles one way. As I would drop her off at school, I noticed that the custodian would be coming out of the building with the American flag bundled up under this armpit and the Texas flag bundled under this armpit. He'd come out at 7. Sometimes he would drop the flag. Students were going in and out. No one paid attention to him. Remember, retired Master Sergeant, United States Air Force. I could only take that for about a week. After a week, I called the principal. And I said, can we talk? He goes, sure, Mr. Rodriguez. So we went in there and I said, who puts up your flags in the morning? Even though I knew. He goes, with all the pride in the world, my custodian does. I said, really? So how many students you got on your campus? He goes, 450. I said, help me do the math. One custodian for 9 months raises and lowers the flag, whichever way he can do it, and you have 450 students on your campus? He goes, yeah. I said, why don't we teach your students how to raise, lower, and properly fold the American flag? He said, can we do that? You're the principal. You're the CEO of this campus. You can do whatever you want. He goes, well, how do we get it done? I said, give me some students. So he picked the student council. Give me a motivated teacher for my sponsor. I said, I will go find a military person. We will train them, and we will call it the FLAG program. Remember, I'm good on abbreviations. The FLAG stands for Fly, Lower, and Gather. Kind of cute. Give me a hand. Come on. The FLAG program. Now, this is where I had to swallow some pride, because in Waxahachie, the only branch of service we have there is the United States Army. So I had to go get an Army recruiter. I said, would you help me teach the kids here how to fly lower and fold the American flag properly? He didn't say, let me get back to you, let me ask my supervisor. He said, when do we start? So thank God for Staff Sergeant Jose Rivera. Give him a hand. So we went back to the principal. We got the 35 students, and I challenged them to recruit one extra student, so by the end of the year, we'd have a total of 70. We trained them in the proper procedures, the proper respect, the proper protocol on how to come out with the American flag, how to properly fly, lower, and fold it. I created a curriculum of 50 questions that deal with nothing but the American flag. I've taken my curriculum throughout Dallas, throughout the state of Texas, and I've given it to city managers, the Dallas County Sheriff, any kind of VIP you can think of. And this is the challenge that I give them. I say, ladies and gentlemen, if you can answer only 3 questions about the American flag, I will feed you for free at any Taco Cabana of your choice for a year. I've been given this challenge for the past year and a half. How many free meals do you think I've given away in a year and a half? 0, nada, null, set for you mathematicians out there. Okay? They're not hard questions. These are city managers. These are people with PhDs, with masters. They're the leaders of our community. No one can answer my 3 questions about the American flag. Yet that American flag represents you, me, them. That American flag has had men and women die so you and I can enjoy the freedoms, the liberties. That American flag to me is not just a piece of material. Remember, we started with a 9th grade academy in Waxahachie, Texas. The principal goes, when's the first day you want to fly it? I said, let's start it on Columbus Day. He goes, Jim, why did you pick Columbus Day? I go, because back in 1892, the Boy Scouts of America wanted to celebrate Columbus Day because we were celebrating our 400th anniversary of the discovery of America. And they wanted to say something special on that day. And a Baptist preacher by the name of Francis Bellamy wrote 2 sentences that we today call the Pledge of Allegiance, written by a Baptist preacher. Okay? The 2 words under God were not added till 1954. Thank you, President Eisenhower. But back in 1892, that's when we started saying the pledge. And the principal goes, how do you know all this? Because I can read a book. Okay? Because I used to teach history for 30 years. I'm an old guy. Taught history for 30 years. He said, that sounds exciting. So we did that. We got put on the front page of the Waxahachie Daily Light. I said, that's cool. The following week, my phone started ringing. Every 30 minutes, every hour. Schools were calling me saying, can you come start a flag program at my campus? I said, what? They said, we really want the flag program on our campus. So we started it with 1 school. Today, as I sit here, listen to these numbers. That way you can know what you can do in America. We started with 1 school. Today, we have 38. We started with 35 students. Today, we have 17,000 kids raising, lowering, and properly folding the American flag. I have 3 billion-dollar companies that are sponsoring the program. Taco Cabana, the United States Army, School Specialty, Branch Banking and Trust, and one that's joining tomorrow, a company by the name of Aramark. I don't know if you've ever heard of Aramark. It's a billion-dollar company that takes care of food services throughout the United States of America. He says, Jim, can I play? Can I be on your board of directors? Sure you can, okay? So that's what we've done in a short period of time. Let me pick on a senior. Who is the smartest senior up there? You big bad seniors, you. Who wants to stand up to the plate and show me what your high school is made out of? Stand up. Thank you, sir. Give him a hand. Now, I'm not here to embarrass you. I'm not here to put any pressure on you, but you're representing 390 students. You've gone through 11 years of school, so I'm going to ask you one question. I want you to yell it out at the top of your voice, whether you think it's right or wrong. Show me some self-confidence, please. What's your name? Roland. Roland? Yes, sir. Roland. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, that's rawhide. Okay, Roland. Here's your question. A properly folded American flag resembles a what? Pyramid. A pyramid. Wrong. Give him a hand anyway. .9% would have said a triangle. That would have been wrong. No one has got it right yet. Mr. Smarty Pants thinks he does. Is this a freshman? Oh! What's the correct answer? Correct! A properly folded American flag represents the Minuteman hat. Congress said we will always honor the Minutemen who were the first to die for the freedom of our country. Okay? You should be very proud of that answer, young man. Now, had you been the first, I would have offered you free food for a year at Taco Cabana. But you had to hear someone say the wrong answer. Okay? Someone had to say the wrong answer, but you still got $6 worth of free food. Is that a bad deal? Not a bad deal at all. Okay. Now, one last thing, then I'll wrap it up. Give me 2 more minutes. Another reason that I'm here, I mentioned my daughter, a very beautiful young lady, wants to go to college up in Vermont. She taught herself how to play the guitar and how to sing. She wants to become an actress and a director. Let me tell you who she looks up to. She looks up to her brother, who is a television actor. He's done 13 movies. He has his own television show on cable TV. He owns his own Broadway production company in Los Angeles, California. He owns a home in Vancouver, Canada. Owns a home in LA. 2 condos in Manhattan. That's my baby boy. That's who she looks up to. Now you're saying, Mr. Rodriguez, wait a minute. He has his own TV series? Yes, he does. On the USA Cable Network. Anyone ever heard of the USA Cable Network? The logo is Characters Welcome. Yeah. This is the name of his TV series. Google him when I give you his stage name. But the name of his TV series, because he's also the director, the producer, the writer. The name of his TV series is called Psych. Come on. My baby boy plays along with Dulé Hill. Dulé Hill's an African-American actor. The guy that looks like a white boy, his name is Jim Rodriguez Jr. Yeah. His stage name is James Roday. R-O-D-A-Y. He called me from LA. He goes, Daddy, he says, they won't let me use James Rodriguez. It's already been taken. I said, well, what are you going to go by? He goes, James Roday. I go, how do you spell it? He goes, I kept the R-O-D for Rodriguez. And I go, yes. The A-Y, he goes, I said, where'd you get the A-Y from? He goes, I have no idea. It just popped out of my head. I said, are they going to pay you? He goes, yeah. I said, I don't care what they call you. But every once in a while, remember, he's been doing this on television for 6 years. He graduated from NYU, Tisch School of Drama and Art. Okay? So every once in a while, just to make sure that his both feet are on the ground, I call him and I ask him one simple question. Who's your daddy? Thank you very much. Good luck to you. Do not pass over opportunities repeatedly, or you will find yourself poor. God bless you.